Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today's tutorial is a hula hoop stand, and I decided to go ahead and decorate this stand 3 different ways just to share with you a few options of how you can use this hula hoop stand. And again, and just a reminder, if you don't have these items on hand right now, please stay safe and just wait until it's safe to go and shop at Dollar Tree. Believe me, I'm having Dollar Tree withdrawals as well. So what you're going to need is a small hula hoop or the larger one from Dollar Tree, the paper towel metal stand, and also one of the plastic silver napkin ring holders. What you're going to need to do is basically use your hot knife and cut open your napkin ring. Now, if you don't have one of these knives, you can use your hot glue gun or a sharp pair of scissors. Just be very careful. I would even say a box cutter would probably be better than scissors, but I have done it before with my glue gun. And then once you do that, go ahead and add some E6000, roughly about an inch from the top of your paper towel holder. You're going to open the napkin ring, and then you're just going to kind of slide it through your napkin roll stand, and then you're going to kind of pull it up to where your E6000 is at, where you placed it. And as you can see, it's about an inch from the top. Now just allow that to dry. Don't worry about the opening right now. I'll show you how I'm going to close that and secure it. Next, you're going to go ahead and open your hula hoop. And what I do is I add some E6000 into the inside of the hula hoop, because there's a little piece of plastic that goes into the middle of each one of the sides of the hula hoop. Add some hot glue to one of them and then insert it into your hula hoop. Allow that part to dry and then insert it into that opening on top of your napkin holder or paper towel holder, I'm sorry. And you want it to be kind of snug, so you're gonna have to kind of wiggle it in there, but you can do it. And then just add some hot glue to the other side and insert that opening into the opposite side of your hula hoop. And just hold it for a few minutes or seconds just to allow that hot glue to dry, because remember, there is E6000 in there. So now what you're gonna do is just go ahead and allow that to dry for a few minutes. And then we're going to get some zip ties. And what I'm going to do is form an X with these zip ties. You go ahead and insert it from one side to the other side, opposite side, basically from the inside of your napkin ring. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm not sure if I'm going to explain this right. Then you're going to go the opposite way, the same way you did, and then all the way through to the other side and make that X with those zip ties. And don't worry about pulling those zip ties too tight right now. Just go ahead and form that X with those. And see how there's an X where you're crossing those zip ties. Now, the next thing I did, which is completely optional because you really don't have to do that, and I'll explain to you why. I got some of the smaller zip ties and I basically inserted it into the crossed zip ties. And then I did it the same way. In other words, forming a smaller X, just zip tying the smaller zip ties to the larger ones, if that makes sense. But you don't have to do this. I just did it because I wasn't sure if it was going to hold. But basically, once you see what I do with the other 2 zip ties that I'm going to insert here, you're really not going to need those small white ones. But if you want to do it the way I am, just go ahead and cross those 2 smaller zip ties around the larger zip ties and the hula hoop. That's all you have to cross them. But the 2 larger ones, you do have to cross around the ring as well. And I'll show you again how I'm going to do that on the opposite way. So you just insert it into the center of the hula hoop, and then you wrap it around everything until you go the outside way where the ring's at, the napkin ring. So you're going to insert it and then just cross that around the hula hoop and the napkin ring, pull it out, and then you're going to go ahead and zip tie it together to secure everything together. So once you've had all that down, go ahead and pull your zip ties the larger part down so you won't have to worry about it. If you do want to add balloons or what have you to this stand, you won't have to worry about them popping, since that pointed bottom part is going to be towards the bottom. So just go ahead and now and start tightening everything up, and then once you're done tightening everything up as much as you can, go ahead and grab one more zip tie and just wrap it around the ring, just like this. And then you're just going to tighten it together, and this is what's going to close that ring together, and it's going to allow you to even tighten the zip ties a little bit more once you've tightened that one to as tight as you possibly can. Then go ahead and cut all the extra zip ties and set it aside. Now what I did was I just formed a circle with an extra piece of cardboard that I had laying around. It's a 5-inch circle, and I'm using the balloons from Dollar Tree, one bag of 12 and one bag of 24. And I'm making them all different sizes, but the largest balloon size that I am making is that 5-inch circle. So what I did, since I couldn't find my little balloon pump that I have, I just blew them up with my mouth, and I just made them all different sizes, again making sure that none of them were larger than that 5-inch stencil that I made for my balloons. And if you want them all the exact same size, then go ahead and make them all 5 inches and it would be perfectly fine. But I wanted more of that organic look where they're all different sizes. So the bags that I used of balloons were the solid color ones and some polka dot ones. The polka dot ones were the ones that had 12. And usually they have different designs, polka dots, or even some with glitter in them, or confetti, I'm sorry. So just grab whichever balloons you want. And what you're going to do is, once you've filled up all the balloons up, you're going to grab 2 balloons and then tie them together. Just like that. And you're going to do that to as many as you want to use for your stand. So just go ahead and grab 2, cross them, and then you kind of twist it, and then you're going to pull it around and then tie them together. And just grab different sizes, different colors, and mix match them, whatever you want, just depending on the design and style you want to go for. So I did this to all of my balloons, except for the white ones, because I am going to use the white ones for another centerpiece that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. But for this one, I wanted it to be more of a colorful one for maybe a baby shower, birthday party, child's birthday party or something like that. So I wanted just to show you different ways of doing it. Once you've doubled up all the balloons that you want to use for your centerpiece, go ahead and grab 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then you're going to twist them around the hula hoop, just like so. And you're going to go ahead and do that depending if you want all the balloons around the hula hoop or just the sideways. It's all up to you. And this is how you're going to do it. Basically cross one in the front and one in the back, and then you're going to twist one from the back and one from the front together like that, and then you're going to twist the other 2 the same way. And I typically try to twist them 2 or 3 times, no more than that, because I don't want them to pop. But that's how you do it, and you're just going to continue doing that again until you add as many as you like. And remember, if you don't have these supplies right now on hand, just wait, save this video and wait until it's safe to be out and shopping, and go ahead and grab your supplies. What I'm using is what I had on hand. So just go ahead and continue adding all the balloons that you like onto your hula hoop stand. And I think this is adorable if you're going to use, again, for birthday parties. You can use it for anything, centerpieces, even just to take pictures with it. There's so many options, and I've seen a lot of different hula hoop stands, but I've always wanted one that was higher above the table, not just like a square surface that you can place on the bottom. I've done plenty of those, and since I had to be more creative and I had to figure out and use what I had only, I was super excited when I came up with the idea of using this napkin roll. Paper towel holder that you can get at Dollar Tree, because again, I've been wanting to use something like this and figure out how to make one like this and be budget friendly. So what I decided to do was go ahead and add a few to the top, and then the rest of the remaining balloons all all bundled up in the bottom on one side. Now this is another option you can do, is go ahead and grab some of these party strings and just wrap them around your balloon as many times as you like, however you like. At the end you'll see that I removed this, but I just wanted to let you guys see how it looks with it on and without it. So if you're going to use this for a centerpiece, make sure that whatever you do to the front, try to mimic it or design the same kind of style towards the back. In other words, all around the hula hoop, since everybody's going to see it from all sides. But if you're going to use it, say against a wall and behind a cake or for pictures or what have you, you just have to worry about decorating the front. So it's very budget friendly. This didn't cost more than $10 total, depending on what you're going to add on to your centerpiece is, depending on your budget. Because you can leave it just with the balloons and it was really cute and perfectly fine. You don't have to add the flowers or the streamer or anything else to it, and it would look really pretty. You could even dangle, a number, make a cardboard or poster board number with glitter or what have you, or even those balloons that you can get at Dollar Tree with the different numbers, and hang it from the center of your hula hoop, and that would look adorable as well. So there's so many different options. But what I decided to do was go ahead and grab some yellow and pink flowers that I had on hand, and I just cut them off into individual stems, and then I inserted them into my balloons. Now I'm inserting them, but if I was to use this for a party or what have you, I would make sure to add a little bit of hot glue to each one of these flowers to make sure they stayed nice and secure and in place and they wouldn't fall down. But if you do use some hot glue, make sure it's at low temp, or even that double-sided stick tape would work great for these flowers as well. So just go ahead and add as many as you like in different areas just to make it more fuller and more girly. If you want it girly, you can even add different things for a little boy's birthday, glue some figurines or even some little cars or Legos onto some string and then insert them that way. There's just so many different options, but go ahead and add your flowers wherever you like. And as you can see, if you don't add that glue or the double stick tape, they will start falling down. So make sure you do add something when you're going to make these for your centerpiece. So once you're done adding as many as you like to the bottom, what I'm going to do is use the same streamer that I have, and I'm going to make a bow. And how I do this is basically just make a simple bow. And you can make as many as you like of these bows. I typically make 4 to 5, just depending on how large I want my bow. And I just cut them down. So just go ahead and do as many as you like. Again, I typically do 4 or 5. And then once you have all the bows that you want to use for your larger bow, go ahead and grab one to make it the back center, and you're going to face it towards yourself. And then the second one, you're going to angle it, say towards your right or towards your left, whichever way you want to, after you've adjusted your bow, and just add a little bit of hot glue, and then you kind of twist it, and then you're going to do the same thing to your third bow and twisting it the other way. Just like that. And then your last and final bow, depending on how many you're going to make sure it's centered again the way the back one was. And adjust your bow and fix it. And what I decided to do with this was to add one of the flowers in the center. So since the ribbon that I have, or the string that I have, is pink, I'm going to go ahead and use one of the yellow flowers just so it can stand out a little bit more and look more as a bow type. And what I did was basically remove that little plastic part that comes with the flower and cut off the stem, and then I'm gluing it flat onto my bow. Now you can place this bow wherever you like around the top part, and I'll show you there's different ways you can do that. So next, to make the tails of my bow, what I did was just grab some streamer, and then I just divided it in half in different lengths. Once I got as many as I'd like, I grabbed an extra little piece to glue these all together. So just grab as many as you'd like, fold them together to make your tails, and then that extra piece that you cut down, go ahead and add some glue to that. Lay your streamers in the middle, and then just wrap it around with that extra piece that you did on the top. And you can wrap it around as many times as you like. I could have cut it off right here, but I just decided to go ahead and wrap it around again. So once I'm done with all of it and being wrapped, what I'm going to do is add some glue to the top part right there where it's wrapped, or where I wrapped around this extra string, and I'm going to glue that part to my bow, the back of my bow, and that's how I make my bow with this kind of ribbon. So just go ahead and add that hot glue, and there you have your bow. Now what I'm going to do is you can add it to the center of your bow balloons or to the side. I decided to go ahead and add it right there towards the side, and all I did was add some little bit of hot glue to my hula hoop and glued that bow onto there. Now I'm going to adjust it and fix it, and also add the remaining flowers that I had from those two bunches around the top part of my balloons. Again, just adding a little bit of hot glue with a medium or low temp, and then just insert them wherever you like around your balloons. So now, if you can see, those tails are a little bit too long for my taste. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust everything, make sure the bow is the way I like it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut those tails shorter. So you can cut them all the same length or all different lengths. It's up to you. And there you have an adorable centerpiece. Now, in case you're going to use this outside, what you can do is get these little gift bags that you can purchase at Dollar Tree. They're usually for like a thank you candies or what have you, and just add some sand or some marbles or anything heavy that you have, and then I just tie a knot on it, and then I'm going to tie it to each side of my paper towel holder. So if you're going to use this outside, this would be enough for it to hold and it not flop over or anything like that. Now, another option, if you don't want those bags to be seen, you can add some wrapping paper or tissue paper around the bottom, and you won't see those at all. So there's different options, but again, I'm just using what I have right now. So your second idea for this centerpiece is more of a simple, maybe a wedding or a quinceanera style, even like a farmhouse or barn style wedding or something like that, in the event. What I'm going to use is a battery operated LED wired lights, and I purchased these at Amazon, and I'll make sure to leave my favorites down below where you can order these on Amazon if you like. And I added some glue to the battery pack and glued it onto what's going to be the back of my centerpiece. And then all I'm going to do is go ahead and wrap the lights all around my hula hoop. Once I get back to the center, all I'm going to do is just kind of twist it like you would a sandwich bag, or the bread bag twisties, and just twist it around itself. Now, I purchased these at Dollar Tree as well, and they're more of like the tropical leaf style, and there's 2 in each one of the stems. So I had 2 of them on hand, 2 stems, so I have 4 of these leaves. And what I'm going to do is basically wire them around the center of the hula hoop, and then add a little bit of hot glue to the top of the leaf just to make sure that it stays in place. And again, if you're going to use this for a centerpiece, make sure you do the same thing that you're doing to the front towards the back. So I would typically do 2 or to the front and 2 to the back, or like this, 4 to the front and then 4 to the back. But I'm just trying to show you different ways. And then you can get any kind of flowers you like, or even some more greenery if you'd like. But I wanted to use these flowers that I had, one large white one, and they're more of a maroon, maybe blush pink color that I had some roses, and they are foam roses. And what I'm going to do is glue them all together, making sure I use the biggest flower I have in the center, and then I'm just gluing the stem towards the middle, and then I'm going to glue the other rose stem on the opposite side. So what you're going to do is just go ahead and add some hot glue, hold that stem in place, and then once it's all completely dry, what you're going to do is make sure you know how you're going to place it in the center of your leaves, and then you can add some more hot glue to that larger flower in the center, and then just glue it onto your hula hoop stand like this, and then just hold it there and allow it to dry. And there you have it with the lights on. So that's an easy way of using this hula hoop stand. Now my third and final way I'm going to show you how to use it is more of a glam style, using some totally dazzled brooches and also the bling wrap. What I did was, for the brooches, I just grabbed some wiring and I wrapped it around where the pin part is of the brooch. And then there's some openings, 3 openings on that little area, and all I did was just wrap it around, kind of thread it through. And then you're going to twist it to towards the back to make those 2 together. And then all I'm going to do, if you can see, that's where the 3 little openings are at, and I just twisted the wiring. And then where you actually hook it together, like the safety pin part, I just wrapped some of that wiring there, and then I'm going to get some pliers and pinch all that together so that opening won't open and it won't poke out or pop some of my balloons. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab some of that bling wrap, and basically the way I do this is I don't glue it at the beginning. What I do is kind of just loosely wrap that bling wrap around my hula hoop, and then just continue wrapping it around. Don't worry, you're not going to use as much as you think you're going to use, but this is just the easiest way I do it. I'm sure there's a few different ways you can do it, but this is just the easiest way I can think of doing it. So I just went ahead and wrapped it all around. Once I've wrapped it all the way around, then I'm going to kind of go in and start tightening it up. So in other words, where I started wrapping it up, I just twisted the same way I wrapped it around. And then once I get that very first part as tight as I possibly can, then I add my hot glue to the beginning of that bling wrap. So as you can see, it starts tightening up. And you just want that first little section as tight and as neat as possible. Then you add your hot glue right there at the center, and you just continue tightening up that bling wrap all around your hula hoop. And you'll notice that at the end, you're going to have more bling wrap than what you wrapped around. As you can see, it gets starting to get looser and looser, but it's already wrapped around. So to me, it's a lot easier this way, and you don't have to worry about using as much glue because you're tightening everything around as you go. So you just continue tightening it around and wrapping it around your hula hoop until you're completely done. Then just cut off any of that extra bling wrap, and then make sure everything's nice and tight before you glue that last piece. And as you can see on my crafting table, there's some more bling wrap that actually was extra after I tightened everything around. Now I'm going to wrap the same wired battery lights that I had on here around that bling wrap. Same process, just wrapping it around, and then once I get to the center part or the bottom part of my centerpiece, I just wrap that wiring towards itself. Now I'm going to add some white balloons, and you can use 15 white balloons on this one. And then I'm adding my brooches with that wiring. Now, one thing I would have done if I had any was use some string, maybe like the balloon string that they sell or what have you, some white one instead of the wiring, but because you might pop some of your balloons. But that's all I had on hand, so that's what I'm using. But you can use one bag of the solid color balloons from Dollar Tree to make this stand. And these are the way they look all put together for, say, your birthday party, baby shower, wedding, quinceanera. Centerpieces are back for a display for your cake stands. So let me know what you're going to use yours for, or what upcoming event you think you might use this for. And if you are going to make it a different style and you have an Instagram, don't forget to link me to it and tag me so I can see the different ways you're going to use this stand. I know I'm going to use this quite a bit. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and stay busy, because I know right now it's really hard to be creative with what you have, but it's fun when you start doing it. So again, hopefully you guys are staying safe and stay blessed. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And also share with your friends and family. Until next time, bye.